What's up, y'all? The DH here, coming at you with our week 3 picks. And Newman, he's been coming strong. So I've got a lot of catching up to do. Not too bad. We had a decent week last week. The push really hurt, but you never know. Sometimes those ties can come back to end up helping you win. But having said that, this week got to go with a couple of gambles because I'm playing catch up here. First game of the week, I've got the Packers at +6.5 over the Saints. I don't know if the Packers outright win this game, but the way the Saints are struggling, Drew Brees concerns me greatly. The Packers are playing very well. They have a couple of injuries, but not too much. But New Orleans scares me right now. I look at them and I do not see a complete team whatsoever. Drew Brees is struggling, and that Packers defense is not a bad defense. If Drew Brees doesn't have a huge game, this game's going to be a close one. So I love the Packers getting almost a touchdown at +6.5. And my second game of the week, we're going out to LA and, of course, against my Panthers, but I've got to take the Chargers at -6.5 over Carolina. Look, we lost Christian McCaffrey. It's obviously a rebuilding year. And the man who should be doing Walt Disney shows, Justin Herbert's playing quarterback. I love that kid. I've said it on the show plenty of times. I love him. I love what I saw last week. It was not a fluke. He's only going to get better. And he's playing a Panthers team that is completely tanking, especially now that C-Mac's gone. Bridgewater's playing okay, but this is a team that is tanking. No Christian McCaffrey. Davis can pick up a little bit of the slack, but he is not Christian McCaffrey. 6.5 points. Chargers are going to win this game by 2 touchdowns at least. And my third game of the week, I have the Houston Texans at +6 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know John Newman's not going to be too happy about that. And that's another game that I don't necessarily think that Houston outright wins it. They're still finding their identity. But I'm not fully sold on Pittsburgh yet. I think they have a lot of holes to address. The running game scares me a lot there, especially if they lean on Connor. I'm really not sold on him. I see this. I see 6 points, and I look at Houston, and they're so dangerous. Cooks has been upgraded. He is going to play. Having Brandon Cooks back out there, having his full arsenal of weapons, I really like Houston in this game as possibly to outright win. I would actually put money on them based on the money line to outright win, but I'm going to take them at +6 and take those points all day long. So Houston at +6 over the Steelers. And my final game of the week, I've got the Giants at +6.5. 6.5 seems to be a theme this week over the 49ers. And anyone that watches football can understand why. The 49ers were decimated by injuries. Garoppolo gone. I mean, everybody, it seems, is gone for the entire year on offense and defense, except for Kittle. Kittle looks like he's probably going to come back, but you're throwing to Bourne, a couple of rookies. I just don't see the 49ers being able to put up points, period. And I know the Giants, they're without Saquon. They've struggled all year, but somebody's got to win this game. If you're giving me 6.5 points, this game's going to be close. It's going to be ugly, as these are probably now going to be 2 of the worst teams in the league now that they've lost their best players. Just don't worry, the Panthers got the worst team locked up big time since we're just not tackling. It's a genius concept. But if you give me 6.5 points in a very close game, at least in what I think is going to be a close game, I'm taking it every time. So Giants at +6.5 over the San Francisco 49ers. So those are my week 3 picks. Now, as always, it's time to kick it over to John Newman. So take it away, Mr. Newman.
What's up, Newman from Roughing the Passer? Went 3-1 on my picks last week, and I'm ready to pick the winners for week 3. Feeling extra confident about this week. That's probably a bad sign, if you will, but probably the most confident out of the 3 weeks so far. And so I'm picking 3 favorites this week and a pick'em game. Let's start with the pick'em game. Tennessee is a pick'em against the Vikings. I don't know what's going on in Minnesota, but Kirk Cousins is stealing money, and Tennessee's defense is real, and they added Jadeveon Clowney to that mix. Minnesota's having trouble moving the ball. And I think Tennessee grinds this one out. I don't think it's high scoring, but I'll take the Titans. I'll take the Atlanta Falcons. They're 3.5-point favorites over the Chicago Bears. I'm not a believer in Trubisky, and I'm a believer that Atlanta's better than they played. They might, Dan Quinn might not survive the year, but they're better than they played, and they gacked that one up against the Cowboys. Now, they might have a hangover from that really brutal loss, and maybe the Bears steal one, but I'm going to take the Falcons, Ryan over Trubisky. I know it's not one guy against one guy, but Atlanta can score. I'm not sure Trubisky can match punch for punch. So give me Atlanta and the 3.5 points. The New York Jets, somehow they're still in the NFL. Somehow Adam Gase is still the head coach. And somehow they're only 7-point underdogs to the Indianapolis Colts and that great defense. And I don't think the Jets score, so that would be a shutout. And I think Indianapolis scores more than 7 points. Give me Indy in a rout. Tampa Bay, 3.5-point favorites over Denver. Denver is without Drew Lock. Jeff Driscoll is going to be calling the shots. He did play well against my Steelers, but we have a tendency to make second-string quarterbacks look pretty good, or sometimes with our secondary. I think Tampa Bay does a better job this week. Give me Tampa Bay and the 3.5 points. They beat Denver going away. There you go. Remember, Roughing the Passer, Sunday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time.